Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Saturday the 4th of February 2023 and yeah, it's Saturday afternoon and I'm at home, so another vlog not in front of the roaster because I didn't get a chance to on Friday. Sorry, brief pause while brain trying to work out what I was doing. So yeah, busy week, bit warmer, but supposed to get cold weather next week, so that's not so great. Definitely picking up again on roasted coffee sales, so we've been flat out roasting on both roasters, and generally orders have been pretty good this week, so it's been keeping us on our toes, as it were. So MacBook wise, my MacBook at home, which is a 2016 one, which is too old now, Apple says, to run macOS Ventura, the latest one that came out last September, and I've survived without that for a while. But I then found there's an open project called Open Patcher, funny enough, that you can use to patch the installer for Ventura and basically force it to run on your non-supported Mac. So I gave that a go last weekend, and it's running okay. Bit of a process because I had to back out the whole thing up, then wipe it completely to start from fresh. Multiple attempts to create the boot USB, then had to boot from it, then you've got to add the installer injector afterwards so it'll boot from the hard drive, so it's kind of complicated, but it is all running, so it seems pretty nice. So being able to get to try Ventura for the first time, because none of my Macs were new enough to run it, and yeah, it looks nice, some nice different tweaks, some more of that movement of, you know, combining macOS and iOS into a more similar system. So things like settings are now very similar to iOS as opposed to how they used to be, stuff like that. So I've been quite happy with that. Hive, I'm in the process of updating the full API node to the new version. It has involved me wiping the server it's on, but I've got stuck because it's a hosted server and the hosting company you can select to wipe it, that's straightforward. But for some reason it's always rebuilding the server with a RAID 1 setting, so it has 4 terabytes of storage, which I do need, but it's only coming up with 2 terabytes once I log back in after reset, because it's running RAID 1, so it's using 2 of the 4 terabytes as backup, basically, a RAID 1 backup mirroring the drive, which I don't want, and I can't figure out either how to undo it once it's been done on the server, because the boot operating system drive is part of the RAID setup, so you can't turn it off manually once it's been set, and there's no way, it seems, in the server manager's back-end console. So support ticket to Privex to ask them if they'll very kindly reinstall it, but not as a RAID 1, so I can use all 4 terabytes. But how long that'll take, I don't know, so could be a few days of downtime for the server. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Now we're going to go on to do Mr. Nellis's words of wisdom, if I can find him, because he has sent some words. He sent many messages actually, so the chance of me finding his words is pretty slim. Mr. Nellis. Right, my things for you to talk about on your vlog. I saw a real Bertie the Bus, but certainly without a face, on Thursday afternoon. Okay. I'm going to York with my mum from the 23rd to the 25th of April. I'm also going to Turkey and my mum and dad after a 4-year break because of the Thomas Cook disaster, the lockdowns and the Ukraine war, from the 25th of June to 2nd of June I presume that's 2nd of July. And finally, I'm going to the Great Yorkshire Show with my mum and grandma on the 13th of July. Well, it sounds like you've got a lot of things going on, Richard. So yeah, I hope you enjoy York. York's pretty nice and it's not far to head up to York. Turkey will be good. I could do with going to Izmir to visit Topa at some point, but got to sort of plan ideas around that sort of thing. But yes, so yeah, that's it. Busy week, lots going on, lots more server rebuilding, messing about. So once I get the full IPO node server actually reset clean with the full 4 terabytes, I've then got to rebuild everything from start, so the Hive D, down the block log, do the replay on that, reset up the half AH Postgres sidebar, and I need to reinstall from scratch Hive Mind, put just C on there to route all the calls to the relevant bits and pieces, where it's Hive D, the half AH, or the Hive Mind. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be tons of messing, but I can't do none of it at the moment. There's no point, because 2 terabytes isn't going to be enough for everything. Block log might only be 370 gig now, but Hive Mind and half AH use up a heck of a lot. So combining them on as well, 1.8 wouldn't be enough. Plus, I want the full 4 terabytes. I don't need the RAID setup, so we'll see anyway. Right, I'm going to get going because the doorbell's rung. So have a good week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Okay, see you.